Okay, so hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Bay of Blood podcast. This is kind of just something we're gonna try to do in between episodes of Tumbling Flesh. Um, this here's BDG reviews and my co-host right here.
Still damn me, and just want to say welcome to all my beautiful motherfucking homos out there.
Well, there we go. I mean,
Not homos, by the way, not homos, hobos.
yeah, man. It's this sort of thing. This is something we've been thinking of doing for a bit. So it's good to finally be able to get one out.
Yeah, it's like helping a child, like a poor child. Like he gave me a hand, like literally, like in the pants, like yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so I guess we'll just like introduce ourselves and get everything going,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So,
But should we introduce Corey first? All right, he's
yeah.
not.
Oh, yeah. Corey's probably doing something.
Yeah, probably.
Don't know what, but yeah.
But do we really want to know though?
Probably not. I mean,
Nah.
it'd probably be better not to know that. I mean, it could be something.
Yeah, when you're a fag, dude. I mean, I know what being gay is about, so like, I just nah, dude. I mean, I spoke to his father once, and he explained the whole thing to me. So nah, dude. I just don't need like a second-hand explanation to me, dude. I know what the Walter family is all about.
Oh man. Okay, so you wanna just like get into some news or something, or
Before the news, though, I gotta say
okay?
one thing to everyone. I mean, we're doing like a horror podcast, but one thing I gotta say: go watch The Mandalorian.
Hell yeah, that show is. Uh, I can't. I don't know if I can even say on TV because it's not really on TV, but it's the
It felt like a movie, dude. I
yeah.
mean,
It's one of the best things on right now.
yeah, everything, set pieces to dialogue, everything is there, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
I have spoken.
indeed, indeed, you have spoken.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely a show that people should be watching. And I mean, obviously if you're a fan of Star Wars, you will have been watching. Um but
Let's
you
let's
know,
get it into horror stuff,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
horror territory.
Okay, so let's just check what's going on in the news right now. Um there's not a lot of big horror news.
No, not really, dude. I
You
mean,
know, well, I
pretty.
mean we've passed October, right? So that's when you'll get most of the thing. Oh, damn.
Hey, you got
I
some.
I just got something right here. Apparently, not really horror, but um, Legendary Television, whatever that is apparently developing a
Is that
Sin
a
City
thing?
TV series.
That's a thing.
It must be.
Is it
A Sin-
legendary like Godzilla legendary like
I don't know if it's the
legendary
same
or?
company or what. Yeah, it's saying they're developing a Sin City television series. So
Yeah,
that
fuck that. Go read the Frank Miller novel. I mean,
yeah, I mean, or watch the first movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's all.
pretty much just the first movie. What else? Oh yeah, Joker has become the first R-rated movie to hit $1 billion.
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad it did.
Well, it's one of, if not the best movie of the year, without a doubt. You
It
know,
pretty much is the best. Yeah, I think like 2000. Yeah, Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, yeah, I think it's my number one of 19. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Lighthouse yet, but like I'm not a big fan of The Witch, so but based on just what I saw like throughout 19 so far,
Yeah.
there's a good chance it's gonna be my number one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I dug it like 100%. Like, let's put it this way: if I was just doing a top 10 movies, like movies of the year, just movies in general, it would be number one. Though of course usually I do a top 10 horror and it doesn't really fall under horror, so so that gets swapped out for that. But in the long run, it is a, a great
It's
movie.
it's definitely one of the better like character studies I've seen in a while.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, and it
it's
really
it's not
just works.
unique in its own thing. Like it's not like Taxi Driver never happened or anything like that. But
No,
like from what we got like in the latest years, like that's I
yeah,
don't know. I mean it's pretty early to say that, but I think Joker's a solid stamp in time. Like
yeah,
it comes
yeah,
to superhero movies or
yeah.
supervillain. It's not really a superhero movie, but
No,
like
no.
comic comic based movie.
Yeah,
I feel it's a big step up from what
what we're
we
used
got.
to.
Yeah, what we're used to, like generic shit and shit. I don't hate Marvel. I'm a comic guy, but I'm not about Marvel movies and shit. I don't really love them. I'm all about those series like Daredevil, Punisher, and shit. And speaking of news, John
Yeah,
Bernthal, who played the Punisher in the Netflix series,
yeah.
is said to come back or some shit as the Punisher in the MCU. So
That's damn cool. If that happens, hopefully we'll start getting some darker Marvel movies,
yeah, dude. I
which
mean,
is something I would really appreciate.
I would appreciate Dolph Lundgren more than John Bernthal. I'm just joking.
Well, apparently, they've done like some photo shoot of him dressed in Punisher, like the Punisher costume from
Gelated skull, I hope.
no, I don't think there's a skull. Was there a skull in the
The
in the
film, no
Dolph
skull
Lundgren
to be
movie?
seen. No skull to be seen except on the tip of the
No,
handle
definitely.
knives or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think it's just like that same costume from back then, maybe. But it's kind of a neat little you know a neat little thing that's happening.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's you go like just think about it. Like you're doing like movies like Captain America, like full fucking costume and shit.
Yeah,
You're doing Howard the Duck, like whole shit and shit, you know?
yeah.
And you like the Punisher, no skull at all. Like what the
I'm
fuck?
I'm
What
I'm
happened?
assuming they were trying to go for like realism, but if you're trying to go for realism, Punisher probably isn't the greatest way to go about it because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
over the top to begin with.
yeah, pretty much.
I
Dude, I
mean,
mean if you're gonna go like Punisher like stamped in reality, I mean just buy Garth Ennis run of Punisher Max and
yeah,
you got it.
yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing. I mean, is what it is, though, right? I mean, if they let the fans control the things, we might get some better releases out there. But they don't. They're in it to make money, so they'll do
Yeah.
what they're gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah,
But nothing came close to like I mean, how can I put it? Like Fantastic Four. What was it like 2014?
uh, the
Last one.
the last
F4.
one. Oh yeah, that thing.
That that
Yeah.
thing literally whatever the fuck it was. Like I'd watched like Dolph Lundgren like reprise his role way before I'd watched that film like ever happening again or to
Oh
get a
yeah.
scene of it. So
Yeah, that
props
that would
to
be kind
Dolph
of awesome.
Lundgren on that. Mad props to Dolph Lundgren on that.
Yeah, for sure. Another little bit of news. It's just kind of bad news. The Blumhouse Black Christmas is going to be the first Black Christmas ever rated PG-13.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I know, dude.
That hurts my
Dude,
brain.
um, if um, if I can say that
Mhm.
like right away,
Yeah.
like might as well like say it right away, dude. I want to go watch it. I want to go like in the theater to watch it. Like no way, dude. I hate it already, dude. I
So
just
so do I, but you know what? I'm gonna go see it because it's a Black Christmas movie.
yeah, it's a Black Christmas, dude. It's a
You
Black
know,
Christmas movie, but like they seem to like again like I would say it's like for anyone who's like listening to this right now, like if you're all about that PC agenda shit,
yeah.
fuck out of here,
Leave,
dude. It's
leave.
not.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I just like I don't, dude. I just nah, I can't, dude. I just can't.
I heard some guys
It's
talking
see,
today. They were shopping for movies, and they were talking about like Avengers Endgame with like with Brie Larson's character in it and everything. And what they said just made perfect sense. And they said, like I'm not interested in a movie with like a political agenda, let alone a movie that's had a political agenda forced into it.
yeah, exactly, dude.
And that's
And
it.
when I posted on my page, when I posted on my page, and someone was all about. Well, I don't remember what I posted though. Was it
I
about the yeah, the Rabbit remake, right?
yeah, yeah.
I was like, dude, like he was like, don't tell me you don't love Jordan Peele and shit. Like Jordan Peele, legit. I don't think he have like an agenda, but if he does it in a clever way. It's not right in your face, like
Exactly.
swallow, you know.
The thing also with Jordan Peele's movies is they're actually good movies, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
and it's like if you get that second and like message from it, like good for you. But if you don't, it's still enjoyable. It's not right in your face, like swallow that fucking load of
yeah.
semen like right away, you know?
Yeah, it's the sort of thing you could watch like Us by Jordan Peele and like a black person watching it, a white person watching it, a Chinese person, it doesn't matter. Everyone,
Can enjoy it for what
yeah,
it is.
and in that situation that those characters are in, you would have probably the exact same reactions.
Yeah, and that's
So def- they're well defined characters.
yeah, and they are well defined enough for us like viewers to maybe see like some second and
Yeah.
commentary behind it, or it's not right in your face. I mean, when I read the articles about the Soska sisters like taking on a Rabbit remakes in Rue Morgue, like
Yeah.
it's like a critical analysis of the misogynistic
Ugh.
situation that's going on. I mean, leave that shit out of it. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
it's or do like a rape revenge flick. I mean, just don't tackle like an already well established, well perceived film, especially by by Cronenberg. I mean, we're Canadian. We
yeah.
love Cronenberg, like obviously, but I think pretty much everyone does too. So just don't tackle something already awesome with some like
political agenda.
Yeah, the shit throughout it, dude. I mean, nah. And like, I know it's out by now, like the Rabbit remake, dude. But
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, and I don't plan on watching, dude. I just don't.
I mean, I
I'm all about
probably will watch it at some point.
I'm all
You
about
know?
I'm all about equality, but just don't destroy like a source material just for
Yeah.
your personal agenda to make it on the big screen, dude. That's just
Yeah. Well, the
pretty.
thing is, it's lazy filmmaking. I've
Yeah,
always I've
it's
always reckoned, you know.
going with the flow, like go with
Yeah.
the flow. It's following the wave of what we got recently. So
Yeah. I always just reckon this. Like, if you want to make a movie with like a political like point that you want to make, that's fine. Make that movie. Create it yourself. Come up with the story. You know, do everything. Make it interesting, and people will watch it. You know,
yeah, dude. But
don't
like
just
I
force your way into something
implementing
else.
something like that in a remake or so-called remake,
Yeah, it's just, leave it
it's
alone.
just
Yeah.
offensive as much as
Yeah.
anything that those people can bring around for us horror fan. I mean,
Yeah, and I mean,
it's
here's the fact of the matter. People always want to go on like, oh, horror is like so misogynistic or anything. It's like, have you ever watched a horror film? Horror films have some of the strongest female characters in history.
yeah, dude. I can.
Where
I
did
mean,
Ripley come from?
yeah,
Where did
Ripley.
where did Nancy
Oh,
come from?
Road. I
You
mean,
know?
you got plenty of them. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, what
It-
about curtains and shit? Like where or April's Fool's Day? Like where the
yeah.
killer's actually female. So
Yeah, it's like just, you know, keep your political opinions out of horror unless you're making a political film.
yeah,
It's that
it's so
simple. And this pisses me off. I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here a little bit. Um, I hate people thinking that horror has to be safe. You know,
like you mean like
like
PC?
not
Like it can't
not
offend anyone?
not just that. I mean, like Black Christmas, a PG-13 Black Christmas. It's like when did
It's
when
a
did
literally
horror
like
become so neutered that it has no balls? It's like, come on.
yeah, dude.
Horror is meant to offend. Horror is meant to scare. Horror is meant to show you the ugly side of the world.
Of humanity. Yeah,
how it works.
yeah, dude.
Don't.
What it seems to be is like like a penis slap on your cheek. So I
Yeah,
mean, I want to go see it.
yeah, yeah. It's just the sort of thing. Make a make a good movie. We will watch it. You know, it's that simple.
Yeah, but speak for yourself on that because you're a Nightmare on Elm Street remake fan. So
Hell yeah.
speak for yourself on that, dude. I can't jump on that boat with you. Sorry, dude.
I gotta get on that because honestly, the thing is, I'll say right now, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake is not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. But, and there is a but, I find there are seeds of a potentially good movie in it, and those seeds make me essentially overlook the rest of the bad. And there's a lot of bad.
So
But
yeah, guys. So yeah, guys. That was a PC announcement. Like mental illness. Seek help. Seek help.
yeah,
Please.
yeah. No, I mean seriously, it's this sort of thing. I'd say if anyone's on the fence, just watch it again. Just give it another shot and don't, you know, I think the problem was,
But what if someone cut? what if someone like caught you in the act of watching the remake?
I'd be
Now
like,
you're pretty fucked, dude.
I'd be sit down and watch it with me. Come on, I'll show you the good parts in this.
Ah, dude. You know there are plenty Canadian serial killers like willing to do shit like pretty fucked up shit like
Yeah,
for for less than that. So
yeah. I mean, seriously though, it's the sort of thing. It's not as bad as people remember.
yes, it is.
No, it's not, man. Seriously, I mean, let's put it this way. I've How can I put this? I've never I would never walk out of a showing of the new Nightmare on Elm Street. But I
I
would walk.
transferred one to begin with, so
I then again, maybe it's just due to the fact, I really wanted to see a Nightmare on Elm Street movie in the theaters, and I never got the chance. So when that one came up, I jumped on it, and I really dug it. But I don't know, there's just something about it I dig. I think as the years go by, it will find its audience.
maybe I think I found what made you love it.
And what would that be?
I mean, it's implied that like when I watch movies, I love to relate with characters, and it's
Yeah.
it's implied that Freddy's a child molester, so maybe you can relate a little on that.
No.
I
Yeah,
just
I mean,
I just hate I hate that plot twist, dude. I hate pretty much everything about it except maybe for the soundtrack, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and
see,
the end credits. I love the end credits.
yeah. I wish, honestly, that plot twist, they'd run with it. You know, I would have, if this was me, if they'd said to me, okay, this is the movie we're making, um, what would you do differently? And I'd be, you know what? I'd run with the fact that Freddy was innocent. Now, innocent doesn't mean
You
not
can
guilty.
yeah, but you can imply that he is, but
Yeah.
it's
What
it's just too
what I would do though, I have
for what it is. I think
I
for
have a method to
well,
my
no,
madness here.
already well established character. It's
Yeah.
too
I
yeah.
have I have
Sorry,
I have
sorry, I got you up, but go ahead.
that's fine. I have a thing here that would work. And essentially what it would be, Freddy, I would make it that he hadn't abused anybody, but he was well on the way to. So essentially, they'd have cut him off before he actually did any damage. But as a result, it'd be almost like a reverse karma type thing, because they, didn't let justice happen, if you will. They essentially took out someone who at the time was innocent. He was given the power to come back, and now he doesn't have to worry about being caught or anything. So he can do whatever the hell he wants now. That would be
Yeah.
my take on it, the way I would go about it. So I would, it would essentially be like,
Are you talking about like straight up like a standalone film that no Freddy character like ever existed before it, or
you'd have to look at it as like a completely different take on Freddy. And I think the problem with the Nightmare on Elm Street remake is when it came out, literally about, I think it was 6 months before it came out, they re-released the Blu-ray box set of the originals. So the originals were all fresh in everybody's mind. And then you come in with something completely different, and, it's forcing the comparison. And there's never going to be
I just
a real comparison.
Yeah, no way, but I just don't get what you love about it, dude. I mean, I love like I love some scenes, like like in the pharmacy,
Oh,
like
I
in
love that. Yeah.
drugstore shit. That like I love that scene. That's one scene I loved.
Yeah.
I love the score, and
Yeah.
I love the end credits. Like I said, dude, I'm just not. I love the opening too. I think,
Yeah.
like in the restaurant. It's been a while since I saw it, but in the restaurant, like if I'm not wrong, it opens like in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Someone's yeah. I love that.
Yeah. It's the sort of
I
thing.
it's so it's it's just all over the place. I think you
I
like
think
as a viewer, I couldn't like get myself to know if was he a child molester, was he a legit dude, and I felt like the people who made that film were the same. Like, was he not? You know?
well, by the end it's pretty much confirmed like yeah, he was.
Yeah, yeah. Before the end, I mean, it's a little convoluted. It was
I wonder if maybe a
it
better
felt
like
rushed and like just don't get me started about that CGI face, dude. It felt rushed and nah,
it
dude.
did. I'll admit, yeah, it did feel rushed at times. Um but like I said, I find that there are a few moments that are just really awesome that maybe a different filmmaker would have done a better job. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I
You
know what
know.
you're talking about, dude. The end credits are awesome.
Yeah, honestly, I really like the opening credits, except for the fact that some bright spark decided to put like printed credits over credits that were already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but let
It,
me ask
it's
you something.
yeah,
The Friday the 13th remake
yeah.
or a Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
Friday the 13th,
Oh yeah, oh dude,
without a question.
that would have been. Oh yeah, I'm glad you answered that because I mean that would have been like a one episode podcast run. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
well, I got it all right there.
yeah. The only thing about the Friday the 13th remake that I can kind of I don't like is the fact that and this is purely an editing choice on the part of the filmmakers. When I saw that in the theaters, I came out of the theater and there were two guys talking about it, and what one of them said to the other one was like, man, if those kids just hadn't stolen Jason's weed, everything would have been fine. This guy legitimately thought that Jason was like growing pot, and the reason that he was killing these people is they were out there stealing his pot.
But he is though. I mean, dude, like,
There's pot growing, but I don't think Jason's doing it.
like
I don't think he has the
just watch
brain to
the
do that.
original, dude. Just watch the original, dude. I mean, you know it's drugs. You know drugs fucked his head up like real bad to the point that he had a big bump on it and got thrown in the fucking lake, dude. It's
Yeah,
drugs.
well, yeah, there you go. It could be. Oh,
It's fucking drugs, dude.
here's the
It's
thing,
drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. You'll end up like
Jason.
Jason in a lake
Then
drowning.
then a bunch of people just go out and start taking drugs.
Yeah.
One thing I sort of realized like just kind of recently. I was on like a Facebook group or whatever, and someone was talking about Friday the 13th and talking about like how you know Jason is kind of supernatural even in the early ones. Like he can get like hung and hit with an axe and everything and he doesn't die. And I was thinking about that and it came into my head that do you suppose that the reason Jason survived those early movies is because of his deformities? Like
That's
like like
kind
do you suppose his head's misshapen? What if there's like a hell of a lot more bone on the front of his head? So he gets hit in the head with an axe. It doesn't kill him, but it gets wedged in the bone. but he survives. Maybe some of his organs are all janky and they're in like slightly different places. So
Yeah, but what about
what
being
would be
like
kill
hanged
shots?
or stabbed or anything that he got like in part one, two, three?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting
Maybe he's got like
premise, you know?
bubbling bumps on his like back or torso that we don't see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, could that be the case? I mean, because like you've heard like of like actual medical situations where someone's like, like their lung will be in like a different position.
Yeah, dude.
And
Hell, I
so you got
mean,
to reckon like if say your lung was like I don't know, say 3 inches over to the right, and someone shot you in the left side in a
yeah, dude.
shot that would
I mean,
normally have
hell,
hit your lung, and then but it just went through meat.
yeah, dude. I mean, hell. Just look at like I'm a shark buff, and one shark attack like did happen like 1 or 2 years ago, where some swimmer was like swimming on his like surfing board, and he forgot his like cell phone
Hmm.
in his like bathing suit, and like the shark like came, attacked his leg, and
Hmm.
what saved him was actually the phone, because if the phone wasn't there, like he would have
Would have just
like
gone right through.
got into an arterial or something like that.
Yeah, so like maybe that's kind of something. No one's ever really brought it up, but maybe it's like little twists of fate are the reason that Jason Voorhees got the sheer amount of kills before he was turned into a zombie.
Absolutely. To move on, the news you got that an American Werewolf in London release,
Oh,
right?
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, tell me about it, dude.
Oh my god. Mm. Arrow Video are probably my second favorite company. My first favorite company is Unearthed Films. I'm
It's
just
not
putting it out there. And
no
it's
Dark Force.
if they bring out Iced, I'll be a fan. If not, they can go eat a dick.
Oh,
Um,
that's my boy.
yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, my favorite is Unearthed, just because I like the way they do business. I like the whole thing with that guy that did the Gutterballs movies,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
died
They bought
recently.
the rights to it. Yeah.
Yeah, they bought the rights to it, and they're looking after everyone that was in the Indiegogo and everything. So they're making it right for people, and that can't be a cheap prospect, but they're doing it. So I really appreciate that as a fan. But when it comes to like limited edition releases and everything, Arrow is one of the greatest, and the American Werewolf one is gorgeous. It really is.
Is it a new transfer?
If from what I know, it's a new transfer. It's got all the features of the previous Blu-ray release, so it has the awesome Beware the Moon documentary, which is awesome. Honestly, if anyone's listening to this who hasn't seen the Beware the Moon documentary for American Werewolf in London, stop the podcast right now and go find a copy and watch it. It's great. It's one of the best horror documentaries ever made.
I saw it on an earlier release of American Werewolf in London, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, ever since they started putting out the Blu-rays,
I got a
they
steelbook,
put it
like
on.
Best Buy limited steelbook,
Yeah,
Blu-ray of it.
yeah,
I think it's on there.
it is. I love that documentary. It's by the same guys that did The Fear of God from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And I love that documentary as well. These British guys, they kick ass. But the packaging, my God, it it's let's put it this way. Unless they come out with some weird, crazy hologram version, like where I can feel like I'm in the movie, I think this is like the definitive American Werewolf release.
What did like even to like maybe like a 4K standard. I mean,
Honestly, I don't have 4K, but if I did, I'd buy it because it'd be American Werewolf in 4K. But I don't think they could beat the quality of the Arrow release. It's just gorgeous, and it comes with that kick-ass book as well. I never
yeah,
read
there's
the
a fucking
books, but
poster, right?
yeah, I got the
Like it
poster
got like
framed
the
already.
oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I
that
got
didn't
the
take
new
long.
artwork framed, not the original artwork that looks
The
like a
cat
cat.
one.
Yeah, it totally looks like a cat.
Yeah, I know, dude. I
I mean,
noticed it even before I saw your YouTube video. I know. I
yeah,
from the get go. I always
yeah.
thought this looked like a cat.
I know it doesn't look like a wolf at all. You know, but it's still kind of a class. You know what? It looks like a poster for like some French cinema,
Yeah,
like something you would see on like the streets of Paris or something. Like, I,
something pretty simple that's not really
yeah, yeah,
giving anything out from the
yeah,
movie.
yeah. But the new poster art is great. I love it, and
And
of
if you put a
course,
title like "An American Werewolf in London,"
yeah,
you pretty much know it's a werewolf.
you know what you're
It's not
gonna
a
get.
fucking
Yeah,
cat.
no, no, not at all.
Well, what about an American Werewolf in Paris? Do you love that film, dude?
Oh, I saw that in the theater. It hurts my brain.
You, you
It's
really
it's
hate it?
it's a guilty pleasure.
It
I
really
enjoy
is.
kind of
It's on
watching
the
it.
same level as like Body Snatchers is for me.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It didn't need to happen, but I'm not angry at the fact that it did.
Oh, for anyone who's listening, like not Invasion of Body Snatchers, like the
No,
remake, like the sequel to the
yeah,
remake of
the
Invasion of Body
the
Snatchers.
Abel Ferrara one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, but it's not necessary. But it's fun. It's nice that it exists. I always thought what I want to see another American Werewolf movie. And let's be honest, let's just let's do a whole series: American Werewolf in Tokyo, American Werewolf in Sicily.
Oh, but
You know?
you know what, dude? I can't really agree with you on that because I see an American Werewolf movies like the first one, like not the Paris one, but in London. Like you can't
Yeah,
remake that. Like it's
they
like a
are
piece of
remaking it.
art. Yeah, I know, but it's like a piece of art. It's like you
It's
can't
lightning in a bottle.
touch shit in a museum, and that's where movies like Jaws, American Werewolf in London should be. You can't redo that. You can't
Yeah, I
do it
mean,
initially perfect. I mean,
yeah, I mean, sometimes you should maybe just leave it alone. Or honestly, like I was saying, I would like to see other movies, but just leave the original as it is, and just throw out something with like werewolves in different countries,
yeah,
as long as it's not Australia, because we've seen that.
or do it like Child's Play did so well. Do
Yeah,
something different
yeah,
with it.
with just keeping the spirit of the original, and then doing something different. I agree with that. You know, I'll be interested to see the remake when it happens, simply because it's being done by, uh, John Landis's son is directing it.
And is it put out by A24? I think they announced it, right?
It could be. I'll just take a look. But the fact that it's staying in the original filmmaker's family and everything,
Yeah.
I kind of dig. I want to see what happens with it. I don't want it to be like a stupid CG werewolf. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And they damn well better not, you know, they better not go showing the wolf all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to say to anyone who's like listening to the podcast, if you want to grab the like limited Night of the Demon edition with the Tunica figures put out by Scream Factory, now is the time, because
Ah,
you're pretty much running out of time right now. So if anyone wants it, go ahead, because they are pretty much gone. So
that's good to know. I mean, it's the sort of thing I dig when they put figures out with like the releases and everything. A lot of the time, it's just I always find it may not be something I'm really like psyched about. You know what I mean?
oh no, dude, you tripping, dude. That Slumber Party Massacre figure? Oh, dude.
That is kind of cool, but you see, I would prefer that if they gave us the option just to buy the figure.
Like, dude, you ever felt something that hard? Like, let me give you my cock, dude. I mean, that fucking Slumber Party Massacre figure.
It is kind of like awesome. I got to admit. You know what? I just wish they'd done part two. The dude with the guitar. I would have loved a figure of that
The
guy.
guitar, dude.
That guy was awesome, man. He was like singing rockabilly and
Yeah,
thrilling people.
Has a figure.
That would be awesome. I would move my Darth Vader head to put one of them in.
Oh, what was it? A steamer, right?
Yes, a humidifier.
Humidifier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hey,
Well, why don't you go ahead and like tell the story about
I'll tell the story. I was in a thrift store, and I was just glancing around, looking at the movies and everything, and then all of a sudden I see what looks to be Darth Vader. So I'm like, what the hell is this? So I go over and look, and it's a Darth Vader humidifier. You've probably seen them, like in Walmart and places like that. But the thing is, it's a perfect 1:1 scale replica of Darth Vader's head. It was $9. So I was like, screw that, I'm getting it. So I got it, and I tore off the cord and everything, but the thing is, it looks just as good as like when you see like a 1:1 scale, like bust. It looks just as good.
Yeah, for like I can confirm from the screenshots that I saw, it's pretty damn good.
It is, and I mean, and the fact of the matter is, if you take off like his helmet, the top part, you can totally put it on your own head, and it fits like a glove.
I mean, Anakin to begin with
Was kind of a humidifier
right,
anyway.
was pretty hot.
Yeah, he was. Have you seen that meme where it's like, such a body? This is like how hot they turned out to be, and it showed a picture of Anakin as a kid, and then him all burnt up. And it's just kind of like, look how hot he is now.
I love it.
Oh man, for sure.
Another news is Halloween Kill wrapped filming.
I so hope they change that title.
Yeah, me too. Halloween Kill and Halloween Hand. I just nah.
No, it's like, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like a Machete sequel. Because there was Machete, then there was Machete Kills, then it was going to be Machete Kills again. And it's like, no, come on.
Yeah, again, I think they
just call it next Halloween or something.
Yeah, or I mean, or no, November the 1st, or that, but
yeah,
like, yeah, like it's the fact that I think again, like they don't trust their audiences.
Yeah,
Like they don't want to they don't want their films to be mistaken with the two others Halloween 2, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get it, but
But again, it doesn't make sense what I just said, because like we got now 3 Halloween just playing Halloween
yeah, it's like,
movies. So
like, yeah, just pick one and go, It's the sort of thing. It doesn't need. People realize what that it's a Halloween movie, that it's not the one from the 80s. People get it. They don't need people aren't that dumb.
yeah, they are, dude. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
like I got a I got like a coworker.
Mhm.
Her name is like Jessica. I'm gonna throw it out there because I know she's gonna listen to it. But like, she didn't know that Halloween like 19 like was a sequel to something.
Oh,
But
that hurts my soul.
yeah, oh yeah, dude. I mean, I didn't even like finish my working shift. I had to like go change my underwear, dude. That was like, damn. But
Yeah, that's kind of.
yeah, but that's kind of what you get by naming your fucking film again Halloween, dude. I mean,
Yeah, I think maybe I know they originally planned to call it Halloween Returns.
nope. There was a
Or
whole other
that was
script.
another one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I mean, Halloween Returns, dude. I read the whole script, and it was all
yeah.
about like Michael Myers being on death row, and like,
Oh, so essentially Three from Hell.
yeah, pretty much, but not really. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
other one's the Halloween Returns script. By the way, I got it on my computer, so just hit me up.
yeah. It's the sort of thing. I mean, what else could you call it? I mean, what else can you
What
call a
my
Halloween movie?
what about Myers or
Oh yeah, or like well, I mean, 1031 has been used, but I mean, I'm sure you could find a way to use it again, like 1031 2019 or something.
yeah, or I mean
Or Sam Hain.
like Silent Night, Trickin' Night. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing.
Hey, just plain like Myers or like the shape or like the shape, just shape, you know, or
Yeah, that would work. I think a lot of it is they want the name recognition. The name brand recognition.
yeah, but I mean, it's I don't think it's all about though that name recognition because pretty much every fucking company on the face of the earth got something to do with the rights of Halloween. So
That's true. That's very true. Um, I don't know. I just really hope they change it from Halloween Kills, because that just sounds wrong. It
yeah,
sounds too campy and everything. And that's one thing you can definitely say for the 2018 Halloween. It was not campy in any way.
uh, you mean the title?
I mean, the movie as a whole. There was no campiness to it. It took itself seriously.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, where with the title like Halloween Kills, that I don't know, that kind of just doesn't work. I think Halloween: The Revenge of Laurie Strode. Go with that.
Yeah, dude. Or like Halloween hashtag the return of Paul Rudd. I'd pay
Yeah,
for that shit, dude.
there you go. There you go.
Myers versus Ant-Man. Give me that shit right now, dude.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, speaking of Myers, dude, I'm
Yep.
just Curious. I know like not all our fans are all about those like crossovers and shit and shared universe.
Yeah.
But if you had to like to take two horror icons and put them against each other,
Mm.
who would it be?
Hmm. It's a little difficult because you have to go with characters that are suited against each other. I think I would go with
Okay,
uh
let's put it this way. Let's put it this way.
yeah.
Like with the big ones. Like
Yeah.
this were like slasher wise, like Chucky, Leatherface, Jason, Freddy,
Yeah.
Michael, Pinhead, and that's it.
Yeah. I would probably go Michael against Jason
Yeah, dude, me too. Absolutely.
and Freddy against Pinhead, and I'd just let Leatherface eat Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky can't really compete with any of
I've
them.
said before, I mean the idea of like, Chucky and everything is creepy, like a killer doll. It's creepy, but when you actually think about it, like it's a doll. It's like 12 inches tall at the most. Just kick the damn thing.
Yeah,
Shove it
dude.
shove it in like an incinerator or something. There are, you know,
Yeah,
whereas
it's just be a film like Dolly D Wrist versus like
yeah, or hell,
Chucky.
Leprechaun versus Chucky. That would work.
Yeah, and that was planned for a while, I think.
That would be kind of funny. I mean, you'd get like the whole leprechaun mythology, and then you'd have like the voodoo side with Chucky and everything. It could be interesting. And then you end with like Chucky's soul being in like the leprechaun or something,
Yeah, dude.
and the leprechaun stuck in the Chucky doll, and it's like, "That's Chucky doll. Where's me gold?" And Chucky's like, "No."
You fucking bitch, you fucking slut.
Oh man. I mean, that's kind of the one thing I always thought with the Freddy versus Jason crossover. It happened. It was a fun movie, but really, I mean, you have essentially like a genuinely supernatural character with Freddy, and then you have a zombie with Jason. I don't know. It just seemed an odd choice.
I can agree with you on that because I mean, like you got a supernatural like entity with like Freddy, like literally a
Yeah,
supernatural entity, and like you can put like a part three Jason in it.
yeah, yeah.
Like he would like
He'd be dead right away, honestly.
yeah.
I mean, like I think they went about it a really good way. I think the storyline of Freddy vs. Jason was actually really well done. I liked the idea of Freddy essentially using Jason. Like he realized, like this is someone I could manipulate or whatever. But it's also the sort of thing, if you couldn't pull Freddy out of nightmares, um, it it would all be kind of a null point. Like that
You mean
one,
like
like how like at the end they pull him into the real world and then you get like a real world fight. Like when you
but is that
actually,
real? Yeah, but that's where I'm I'm gonna interrupt you because
Mhm.
is it is it the real world though? Because by the end, like when Jason's holding the Freddy head,
Yeah,
he's winking at us. So
I've
is
just,
it
I've
real
just I've just come to
world?
the conclusion that Freddy cannot die. I think you can
I
like,
think I think you can destroy him
yeah,
by not believing in him, like it
yeah,
was established in the original franchise. But like
I
In
think
Freddy
he will
versus
always
Jason,
come
they
back.
legend believe that Freddy is someone, something. It's there. It's an entity. It's Freddy. They know it's there,
Yeah,
and that's why I think it's maybe the whole third act is like based in the like Jason's nightmare or like someone's nightmare. Like, is it really the real world? Like,
yeah.
we don't know for sure.
But if that was the case, how would Jason win? He'd
Maybe
never
you let
he'd never get to that point. I mean, Freddy'd just take him out. In the dream world, he's like,
maybe yeah, dude. I get what you mean, but since Freddy, I mean, maybe Freddy just let like Jason wins, but he got what he wanted. Like,
that's true.
some
Yeah.
people know that he's real,
Yeah.
that he's
Yeah.
something. People fear him,
Yeah,
you
that
know.
that is true.
And
I don't know.
as we know, Freddy, the more um, people fear him, the and shit, like the more power he gains. So
Yeah.
maybe he wasn't strong enough, or
Yeah.
you know.
I still think though, Freddy versus Pinhead would be awesome.
Bruce, I can picture like Pinhead versus anyone film, dude, for real.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing I always thought. I remember when I was younger, there was a website. I forget what it was, but it was about the Ring series,
Yeah.
and they had a whole thing where you could write like fan fictions. And man, this is dorky as hell. I wrote a fan fiction, and I did a crossover with Sadako from The Ring and Hellraiser. And I was actually surprised at how easy it was, because you can put the Hellraiser mythos into pretty much anything, and it works. Especially if you get something where there's like a time limit involved. Essentially, what I had doing, I had someone, the Sadako was coming for them, so they opened the box right when she appeared. So you have Sadako on one side and you have the Cenobites on the other, and it was kind of like, well, who's gonna get which here? Like, or is
Yeah,
one
but
just gonna cancel out the other? It didn't work. It was a crappy story, I admit.
dude, I mean, like
I had them coming to an
the way
agreement.
you picture it is like and it's like pretty much everyone think like Pinhead could like rule, like be the master of all like the horror stuff. Like,
Yeah,
he's the master of like Myers, like the xenomorph, like every entity. And I think
yeah,
it's like a cabin in the woods, but he's got the controller to it,
yeah, yeah. I think the the what makes the problem with putting Pinhead into another franchise like that is the rules that have already been built in to the Hellraiser franchise. Like you have to open the box. You know, he has to essentially be let in one way or another. Um, just don't open the box. You know?
Yeah, but like if we're I mean if we're gonna get like a supreme like leader of all evil on the planet, I mean,
Yeah,
who's ruling like Pinhead? I would like to see that. I mean,
yeah. Who knows? I mean, and hell, if you read the Hellraiser comics, the ones
oh,
from
don't spoil me though. You said it to me, but
yeah,
don't spoil me. I didn't. I
no,
didn't.
I mean the new ones from Boom, and this is like quite like this is like in the first couple of issues this comes to pass. Essentially Pinhead kind of just wants out. He wants to be human. He wants to be away from everything. So you have kind of like an apathetic character almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get pissed at anything because he's seen it all before. I guess that's one of the downfalls.
Yeah, I get what you mean. To go on with the news, dude.
Yeah.
It's not a news that like we got yet, but I don't get why we didn't got it.
Mm-hmm.
How come Jaws
Yep.
isn't 4K yet?
I don't know that honestly that's like mind-boggling. That I would have assumed that Jaws would have been one of the very first 4Ks. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It should be out. I don't get it.
It really,
I really don't.
it should. But if you, um, like, if you, like, speaking about Jaws, I mean, Jaws 2, 3, and The Revenge took like in 2005, you could get like, and my first DVD ever, by the way, that was my next question, but my first DVD ever was actually Jaws: The Revenge.
That's cool.
No, not really, but
it would be kind of cool though if that was your first movie, Jaws: The Revenge.
yeah, on DVD that was my first DVD I ever bought was Jaws: The Revenge. But just like, I mean, it took like 8 years, I think, to get like 2, 3, and 4 on Blu-ray.
Yeah. I
So,
don't know. I think
what's
it's
up with
just
Jaws,
laziness.
Jaws franchise rights? I mean, is it a right issue? Is it?
I don't know. I mean, Universal are pretty tight, like with their rights things and everything. They keep a tight rein on stuff. I think it's just a fact of they're probably waiting till the next big anniversary.
But I mean, you don't gotta do it. I mean, it's Jaws.
I know it would be.
You don't gotta do it. I mean, who doesn't love Jaws, dude? It's Jaws. I mean,
Yeah. I would think probably 2025.
yeah.
No, that actually seems even too long. 75, 85.
2045.
Yeah, that would be the next like round number.
I expect to see like Cruel Jaws get a 4K transfer release before Jaws does.
Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me, honestly. It's goofy as hell, but I think that would, yeah.
But you know that like Scream Factory like was supposed to release it.
Yeah.
All right, to that release though, because I would have bought it right away.
Yeah, I think probably Universal just kind of said to them, like, like, we're not going to stop you if you want to release this, but, it might have an effect on future movies that you want to license from us.
Yeah, but if you check like just look at the Scream Factory catalogs of releases.
Yeah.
There's
The Thing.
Like from Universal.
Yeah,
you have like little to no titles like coming up like lately. I don't know what's going on. I mean, like after the blue steelbook that I bought Halloween 2 and Halloween 3.
Yeah.
Like correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we got any like Universal properties release.
We got those Universal horror collections of like the older movies. Got three volumes of those.
Yeah, but that was planned before the steelbooks.
Yeah.
I didn't get any announcement of any sort.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's something going on. Well, maybe Universal are just bringing all their rights back, like they tend to do every now and then.
How cool would like Jaws 2, 3, and 4 would be like released by Scream Factory? That would be dope.
Hell yeah, I'd love to see a release of Part 3, like a collector's edition of Part 3. And
Yeah,
I mean, simply because it's such a strange entry in the series,
yeah, dude.
and I'm
Absolutely.
sure, and hell, it has Lou Gossett Jr. in it. I mean, I'd just like to hear stories about him.
Oh, on a higher note,
Yeah.
The Kindred is actually coming out by Synapse.
Is it actually happening?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn it. I mean, that's something. Ugh, the bastards. I keep telling. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it, dude. It's
I'm sure that's like a
I love the fact that you were like, "Oh, is it though?" before I even finished.
Oh, I was so hoping. I was so hoping it would, because that's
Dude,
one of those ones.
if it was about to come out, I wouldn't even be talking to you. I would like watch the trailer and jerk off like all the fucking night, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing. Someone needs to get that released.
Someone get before the Kindred. Someone gotta grab fucking Iced.
Hell yeah, Iced needs to be
We'll keep
have a
it
better release.
later on this show, but we gotta people know how Heist is awesome.
It is. It's the best movie you've never seen.
Yeah, in a way.
It is. I mean, it's a movie about skiing where nobody skis.
Yeah,
You
and if
gotta
you
love
don't
it.
ski, well, screw you.
Man.
You're not allowed to talk to me. If you don't ski, you can fuck off right away. Learn to ride. Learn to feel the snow. You know?
Oh man.
That's how you get girls. And if
Yeah,
you don't
apparently.
get girls, then you don't fucking ski.
Oh man. Seriously.
I love that stuff, dude.
It is. It's hilarious. It really is. I mean, it's one of those things, you hear about like the so bad it's good movies, but then there are movies that are just awesome.
There are some movies that are just skiing goggles point of view.
Exactly. That was awesome. And hell, it has the greatest death by snowplow ever filmed.
It's like a flat burnout on his face. So
Yeah. Yeah, so somebody, get out Iced. I mean,
and
hell, even if it's just like a DVD,
yeah, and I mean,
we would accept a DVD.
like just spam the shit, even if it's like Dark Force. Like Dark Force was live like a couple of nights ago, and I was chatting with BDG, and I was like spamming the fuck out of Iced. We need a Heist release.
Oh yeah, and that dude that was in the hospital was getting pissed. He was like, "They all want like 4K and everything." It's like, no.
I'm just asking for Iced, dude.
Yeah,
Give me a VHS of it. I'll be like fine with it. Like,
yeah.
don't know anything about shit. Like, they just want the 4K, like, Ice, Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
It's like we will take like a DVD. We just want like an official release of Iced. Damn it. It is
morons.
It just needs to happen. Somebody. Preferably Vinegar Syndrome.
Preferably.
Yeah, because, they're kind of awesome. They do good releases of everything, so.
Yeah, or Eco Bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
You get it's a 2-disc set. You got the first half of the film on one and the second half. It's like
Yeah, and it's YouTube quality.
yeah.
Yeah. Man. So, you got any other news or?
I think.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump right in. Favorite horror movie sequel.
Yeah. So you want to go first with this or me?
Um, I think I'll go first.
Okay.
Horror sequel, just like horror sequels. I don't feel like horror sequels are like big of a topic like when it comes to podcasting and shit. And
No.
actually, No More Room in Hell did one episode with like all time favorite like um horror movie sequel, and it
Yeah.
was so damn interesting because they most of the time they are overlooked. They are like no one talks about them.
Yeah.
So we'll jump right away with it. So
Mhm.
my like we're doing a top five. So number five for me is Jaws 2. Um, it's not a perfect film by any mean,
No.
but you know, your Jaws 2. You're
Yeah.
coming right after one of the most perfect film ever made.
Yeah.
You,
And
you're
it matches the tone of the original, which is something I think with a sequel you either have to match the tone or you have to go in a completely different direction. And it matched
yeah,
it just fine.
yeah, but you know what I love is that I feel they did both of them. Like they
Yeah.
did like they did go in different like direction, but keep up with the tone of the first one.
Yeah.
And you know, it's I mean, just look at Jaws 2. Like, don't think about part 1,
Yeah.
except when maybe Brody's there.
Yeah.
But it's like, just look at Jaws 2 as a fine slasher, you know?
Yeah.
It's,
It works.
yeah, it's its own thing. I mean, and even the shark, like, they named the second shark like Brusette, I think, or something
Set.
like that. Yeah, Brusette. I think it's Brusette or Brusetta or something like that. Like she's a female. Like I read the novel, she's a female. She's wider, she's larger, and she's more mean and shit like that. And I just love that, dude. I mean, from the get go, the opening,
Yeah.
to see those divers like get to the orca and shit, and they get attacked like right away by that shark
Yeah.
is awesome. You get so much like throwbacks to the original, and you even get like legit like life lesson from it. Like like in the first one,
Hmm.
like the mayor and shit was like, oh, we can't like close the beaches, and in the second one, like he's still like we can't close the beaches, so like go vote, like go
Yeah.
vote, like changed, like go ahead, like just like you need to change shit, like especially in Amity, like
Yeah.
dude, you gotta vote for Amity. I mean, and like even like when it comes to Hamilton, like I was speaking about the mayor. I think his wife was like super duper sick like during the filming, and he finished the film and shit. And I don't know. It's you got a feeling to it. To Jaws 2, it's just fun, right? It's not
Yeah.
perfect by any mean, but it's something I can enjoy like any day of the week. Someone's gonna come over and say, "Oh, let's watch Jaws 2."
Oh
That
yeah.
that never happened, but still, dude, Jaws 2 is Jaws 2. Like
Yeah.
soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, uh, like props to um, like I mean, just put it this way: they did Jaws 1.
Mhm.
They had problem with the shark.
Yeah.
They learned a little from that. They build half a shark so someone can sit behind the fin to have like a point of view with the fin on the side. You know when he's
Yeah.
like when she's like approaching the boats and shit.
Yeah.
It's just a damn good film. I think for what it is. It's like I said, it's nowhere
No, well, you can never, um, you
top.
can, you can never top part one. I mean,
But
it
for
was,
what it is, dude. I mean, even the poster, like the poster, it's a big ass fucking shark with someone skiing in front of it.
yeah.
It's it's just so and like little scene like when when the sharks like after the whole Hamity like lady ceremony and shit like you just
Yeah.
got a like a point of view of like a quiet like boat like just on the water and shit and just
Mhm.
see like that fin like dan it
Yeah.
dan and just disappear like underneath it. It's really I love Jaws too, dude.
Yeah. It's just a damn good sequel, honestly.
Oh yeah, it really is.
Which is always something you can always enjoy a good sequel. They never measure up to the original, but you know,
They rarely do.
it's yeah, it's
On some occasion,
hard.
like Exorcist 3, like I prefer Exorcist
Mhm.
3 to the original and shit, but like
Yeah.
most of them, like you can't top the source material.
No. No. Well, I mean, because let's be honest, everything else is just an imitation.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I
Or
mean, it's just
or
the
a pale
nature.
one.
Yeah, it's just the nature of sequels. It's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your number 10, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, my number 5.
The five. Yeah, we're doing fives. Uh, for my number five, I'm gonna go for a bit of an odd choice because it's a sequel, but it's a standalone film as well, and that is the third. I think it's the third Men Behind the Sun movie, Nanking Massacre. Uh,
Oh, damn, I didn't.
Black Sun, the Nanking Massacre.
Damn, really?
Yeah, that movie. I said it when I did a review for it. I think everybody should have to see that movie.
But to see it like on your top 5 of it?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and it stuck with me after the fact. That's one thing. If a movie can stick with me, I don't care if it's a sequel or good or bad or whatever. It's done its job.
One question I gotta ask though is
Yeah,
do you enjoy 3/1
I
more?
I still haven't seen part one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been meaning to. It's just yeah, I can't find
Yeah, you can
a
say it that I can't rip DVD for shit, so
well. No, I can't find like a reasonable copy, and like from what I've been hearing, like the copies that you can buy, like aren't like the best versions and stuff. It's there's no definitive version of it
No, absolutely
out
not.
there. Now, with Black Sun, the Nanking Massacre, the Unearthed one is pretty much the definitive release of it, and it looks good.
That's really your number four?
Number five,
Five,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. I'm putting it.
I'm quite surprised though.
It's just for the sheer power of it as a film. It has to be on there. It's just kind of has to.
I never saw part three, but like there's so much good sequels that I know of.
Yeah.
Just to
Well, I'm purposely
like you're
trying
gonna
to.
go with that is kind of shocking to
Yeah.
me.
I'm purposely also trying to just not pick the standard stuff. I
Oh,
mean,
you can't pick the standard stuff. I mean,
yeah. I just want something a bit different as well. Uh, some of my other ones on my list are more standard, but that one, there's just something about it.
is it a buy or a rent?
It's a buy, honestly, and like I said, I think everybody should have to see it because it's a perfect example of what happens when you start seeing the enemy as just the enemy and not as people.
So you don't have to see part one and two
No.
to.
Well, actually, part two's not actually a Men Behind the Sun movie.
Yeah, but for
They,
someone who doesn't know shit about the man behind the sun,
yeah,
can just go
yeah.
ahead
No,
with part
it's a
two.
standalone flick. Yeah, it's its own thing, and yeah, it's damn powerful, and yeah, it's a little hard to watch as well.
You have any cons about it? Like,
Cons, it's hard to watch. I mean, it shows stuff like what it does, which is really interesting. I don't know whether part one did this or not, but like it'll show like a picture, like an actual historical picture of like some atrocity that's happening, and then they'll essentially like act out the picture.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like there's just one scene. It's like a famous picture. It's like you got this Chinese guy like kneeling there, and you got a Japanese guy with the sword, and he's going to like chop his head off. It's a real picture, you know.
Yeah.
And then it cuts from that to like a recreation of it happening, and then it may cut back to the follow-up picture, which is like the guy with his head on the ground, and it's like a real thing, and it just kind of it's powerful,
It's well crafted. That's
very well
what I get
crafted.
from.
Yeah, I mean it
For anyone who wants to like buy it, is it still available? Is it out of
it
print?
it it isn't. It isn't. I know Unearthed Films, at least recently, had quite a few copies left. They found a bunch in the warehouse or whatever. So I think you can still get it, but it's very close to being out of print. But you can still find copies at pretty reasonable prices.
Is it like a double feature, or it's like a single release?
It's a single release. Yeah, it's one that just yeah, people need to see it. It's a good movie. It really is. So, what's your number four?
Um, some people may hate me for it, but it's actually it is Poltergeist 2.
I agree. I like Poltergeist too. Always have.
Um, I mean, to the point that, like, for me,
Hmm.
Poltergeist is all about Poltergeist 2. I don't care about the one. Poltergeist too. I got like Kane, like Reverend Kane, like tattooed on my leg. So
Well,
I'm
the
all
thing
about
is,
Poltergeist
yeah,
too.
there's something just really creepy about Kane as a character, and he never appeared in the first movie or anything. It was just Poltergeist, but giving an actual face to the evil, if you will, it was a good face to choose. Let's just say that.
Yeah, dude, and like the fact that like when you first see Kane, like
Yeah, you
you
know,
know right away
that something's
it's not.
off.
It's like
Yeah,
it's a threat.
yeah,
Like right away, just by his face.
yeah,
You know the dude's not legit all about that happy little life.
yeah, for sure. And honestly, there's some good effects in part two. I'd venture to say even some better than part one. I mean, and the Giger designs for were worth it alone.
Yeah, the slug, like
Yeah,
not really a slug, but the like the
demon slug
demon.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's unique. I just love the fact that I think it came from a vodka bottle.
yeah, dude, and just I mean,
That's why you don't eat the worm, people. You spit up demon babies.
what I love about it too is it may seem dumb, but like the fact that the family like are like legit like believing but kinda still in denial. Like
Yeah,
I love that because
yeah.
I think most of us would still be like that. Like you
We'd
see
react
some
in the same way.
crazy
Yeah,
shit, but like you got so like traumatized by what you experienced that you're still like in denial.
yeah. I still just wonder how they, got a new house. I mean, because I highly doubt that their insurance covers acts of poltergeist.
I don't think so.
You know, like, well, what happened to your house? Or well, I got sucked into another dimension. Oh, well, I'm sorry, we don't cover that.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have to say, I found this out a few years ago, and I find it just really interesting that if your car is radioactive, you're not covered by insurance. I'm just putting it
How
out
do
there.
you get a radioactive car though?
I think you have more to worry about than your insurance if your car is radioactive. I would be more worried about like the irradiated mutant growing in the back seat sort of thing. But
Yeah,
you
but
know,
to begin with, I mean, I'd probably like never buy that car too. I mean,
no. But
I
I
to begin with, I mean,
yeah, it's just an
my
interesting little
my
bit of
lifespan
trivia.
is kind of short to begin with because I'm a smoker. So I just
Yeah, radioactive car probably not a good idea.
yeah, no, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, I just love that someone went out of their way to find out that insurance doesn't cover radioactive cars.
Yeah, but how?
It's I,
What car? I mean, it's not a
I
Toyota like Tercel or something like that.
I have no clue. I think they just went and like looked at the insurance forms really well or something, and so like like radiation isn't covered or something.
Maybe they bought the cursed car from
Yeah,
James Dean.
there you go.
But yes, to get back to Poltergeist 2.
Yeah,
Um, and one thing I was curious, I know I already told you about it, but I'm like I asked directly. Like I DM'd Oliver Robbins, who played the little guy in Poltergeist 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and I was like, how was Kane? How was that dude? I mean, he's legit creepy. I mean, and he was the kindest person you could ever met from what he told me. So
Yeah. Well, I think that tends to be the thing. Really creepy looking people tend to be really nice. Maybe it's just you know, to overcompensate for the fact that they look creepy. And they
yeah.
probably know they look creepy.
But you know that scene where he's like, "Let me in, let me
Oh,
in." You know that scene
yeah.
where,
Yeah.
but the dude that played like the father
Yeah.
was legit scared shitless.
Yeah. I man, if that guy was banging on my door, I'd be like, "Get away, pedo!
Yeah,
Come any
it's
closer, I'm grabbing my sword and taking your ass out."
and just the song that he's like always like saying like God's
Yeah.
God in what was it, God's
Something to do
or
with God. That's scary enough as it
God's
is.
in heaven and I don't know what or something like that.
Yeah. Honestly, like crazy religious people freak me out. They really do. Like overly psycho religious people are something I find genuinely disturbing. Like in real life,
Yeah, me too. But
you know.
like
So
to get like someone like Kane, like you get some flashback like in a cave and shit, like some flashbacks in a cave, like
yeah,
it's kind of like a cult, you know, like
yeah, yeah. And it's this sort of thing. It's like, who would follow him? Like of all the possible, like like you see most like cult leaders are like charismatic, like I don't want to say good-looking people, but
yeah.
relatively like attractive people that people would you can understand why they'd follow them. But like, who the
Oh,
hell would follow Kane? You'd
it's
you'd you'd
God,
follow that guy out of fear
it's
that he's gonna come
God
back and
in
look at you.
it's God in His holy temple. Yeah,
And it's like, ugh, like go away, shoo.
yeah,
I
and
I would have just laughed if the father had been like, no, thank you. Like we're Jewish, and just like close the door on him or something.
And like I always said, I mean, like old people are scary for me. Like
Yeah,
granny shit are legit scary, but no one can top motherfucking Reverend Kane, dude.
very true. I mean, he's just one of those characters, like, and especially because most people will have seen Poltergeist 2 when they were kids. I saw it when I was a kid, and he freaked me out as a kid. I mean,
Yeah,
even before he did anything, even before like, it was obvious that he was the bad guy. When he just showed up, I was just kind of like, nope.
yeah, dude. And I think there's the fact too that when you watch like the first Poltergeist, like
Yeah,
if you like imagine that Kane is behind that,
yeah,
it's even creepier, I think.
it is. I always wonder though, was Kane behind the events of the first movie, or did he just happen to come around after the fact?
In part three, they implied that he was, but fuck part three though.
Yeah, I mean, I dig it that they had the balls to kill the little psychic woman,
Yeah,
you know. But other than that, part three's kind of like they just shoved the kid off onto some relatives.
yeah.
I
So
did find that really funny though, that like her like therapist or whatever was trying to make her remember, and then the little psychic woman comes in and she's like, everything was fine until you told her to remember stuff.
Yeah.
So it was all his fault.
Yeah, how would you feel after that?
I know, it'd be like, well, you literally unleashed hell.
And something I
Good
gotta
job, Doc.
point to is the house in part 2 that the family is living in. It's creepy by itself. The way
It is.
it's mounted and shit, it's like compared to 1, I don't hate 1 again, but
Yeah.
like in part 2,
Yeah.
where like the crib itself is creepy, I think
It is. The whole layout and everything. It's just
yeah, the way it's made, the way it's
odd.
built, it's just weird.
Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing they
Kind
probably.
of one of my like. Let's go. I'm gonna let you like say your next pick, but
Mhm.
we'll get back to that when I get to what I want to get.
Okay.
You'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So for number 4, it's kind of trite to say, but Halloween 2.
Salt 8.
Halloween 2.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's a perfect sequel.
It is.
That's all you really need to say about it. I mean, it is more of the same night.
Like right away.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, it feels like if you were to edit the 2 movies together, and I'm sure somebody's done it, it feels like just one long night. And I'm down with that. That's it.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
I
what else
can't,
can you say?
Yeah. Except some. I mean, did I ever send you that clip where like Michael like fall
Oh yeah, and
on top of
he's so obviously at the top of a ramp.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some little things like that, but dude, like that whole film, like the Mr. Sandman,
Oh yeah.
give me a dream, like that's where it comes from, dude. I love Halloween 2, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's
pretty cool, and it features like my favorite Michael Myers like ever, dude, like Dick Warlock. Dude,
yeah.
it's there's something like robotic to him. Like
Yeah.
I just love Halloween 2, dude. I really do.
Yeah, it's a great film.
What do you love about it? Like
I just
except the fact that it's like the same night. Like me myself,
essentially
dude, I can say that I love the fact that it takes place like in an hospital, dude. It's so
oh yeah. Hospitals are naturally creepy places just by like default.
yeah, dude. And throw Michael in it, dude.
Yeah, and it's like shit. Like no good's gonna come from this situation.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an awesome sequel. It took everything the first one did right, which was admittedly pretty much everything, and just continued it. And you believed like Laurie Strode's character. There wasn't a tonal shift.
Yeah, except for the wig, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, but what are you gonna do about that? No, but I mean, it still felt like the same character. It felt like the character had been through a lot, but it didn't feel like, she was coming back like years later to reprise the role or anything.
Yeah.
It felt like seeing old friends again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my number 4. Was that number 4? Yeah, number 4. What's your 3?
I'm kinda divided though on number three, but
Hmm.
I think I gotta go with Aliens.
Good choice.
I mean, Aliens.
Yeah,
I mean, what's to say about it?
it's one of those things. Every list of best sequels will have aliens on it. I purposely kept it off mine because I was pretty sure it was going to be on yours.
Yeah, dude. I
um,
mean, what?
it it's the sort of thing that took the other option where like Halloween 2 did more of the same. Aliens is a complete tonal shift. It changes from like a claustrophobic,
Yeah,
like
but
essentially haunted house movie to like
yeah,
a
but just
siege
like
film.
Halloween 2 did, like Halloween 2 did so well, they kept
They kept
like true to the
heart.
source material. They just expanded on it.
Yeah, yeah, which is the way to go about doing a sequel.
Yeah,
You're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but you're taking it in a new direction.
I think like when you're doing a sequel, like the clue is to be aware,
Yeah,
like what you're remaking.
yeah, yeah. You
But yeah,
you gotta
Aliens.
be.
I mean, what can I say, dude? Aliens. I mean, everyone know about aliens, so.
Yeah. So tell me this
So,
though: which cut do you prefer?
director's cut.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, there all the scenes that are added in just enhance the viewing.
Yeah,
It's like there's nothing detrimental to what they add to it. Sometimes you see a director's cut and it's obvious it's just like plot padding and
like
stuff.
filling.
But every part, and I love the fact that they have sentry guns.
Yeah, and dude, like that, like when like Newt's like going with her parents,
Yeah,
um, like to see the ship on LV-426,
yeah,
dude. I mean, dude, it's aliens. I can say anything about aliens. I just have nothing to say about aliens, dude.
yeah. It's perfect.
It is.
I mean, it's one of the few that I would say might actually be a better movie.
Then
I'll
the
say
first
that
one?
it's a better movie than Alien, but
Oh no, I don't
it's
think
not
so.
a better film. I make a
Uh,
distinction between movies and films.
no, dude. Nah, even dude. No.
No,
Uh,
I mean, yeah, I, I gotta give it to it. I do, honestly. Not by much, but because it's like more of like a fun like war film almost. You know, I feel
uh,
I don't know. It's just
oh no, dude. I mean, the dread that alien
oh yeah.
to it. Nah, no way. I don't think I can. I mean, we're talking about sequels, so yeah, Aliens is there. I love Aliens with
Yeah,
all my heart, dude. I love it.
yeah.
But
I think Alien is the better film, but just for like a fun time, like let's put it this way: if you were to go to a party and they could either put on Alien or Aliens, I would prefer Aliens to be put on
if I was
at
a
like a
party,
party. Yeah.
like if I was at a party, I'd put on like Resurrection.
Oh man, hell yeah. Oh, if you're at a party, just throw on August Underground and just
Yeah,
no
or
good would come from that.
yeah, or like the Vomit Gore trilogy,
Oh yeah. And
oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
I just find it funny that speaking of the Vomit Gore trilogy, that the Soska sisters were in one of them.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like to they try to keep it hidden. But yeah, they were in, I think it was Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. So
Yeah.
they got puked on, or they puked on somebody or something. Yeah, so take that. Yeah.
All about that feminism,
Yeah, there you go.
That's what you get, bitch.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
aliens. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't say anything about it. I mean, everyone knows about it. Everyone know how good it is. So
Yeah.
aliens.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go with my number 3. Uh this one's going to be a bit tough because I like part 2 and part 3 equally, but I'll go with part 3 and I'll say Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah.
Leatherface.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I love it too.
I love it because, again, like part 2 went in a completely different direction from part 1, but part 3 feels like the spiritual successor to part 1. It has the same like mean-spirited.
Vibe to it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's something I can appreciate. And honestly,
Underrated.
Leatherface
This place.
in part 3 looks like a legitimate threat.
Yeah.
He's big, he's imposing, he looks like, he could really mess some shit up.
Can we agree that
Yeah.
this film is so underrated for what it is?
100%. 100%. More people need to talk about it, but they don't. They just
Skip it. That's what they do.
yeah.
They skip it.
I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people even forget it exists. And it's a damn shame.
And that design too, dude.
Yeah.
That design, like
Yeah.
his leg is all fucked up. You got motherfucking Viggo Mortensen in it too.
Yeah. And it's the sort of thing I always think about, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and everything, about like how Leatherface is different in every one. Like he has like almost like a different personality in each one. And I think that it's like an inherited role.
Yeah.
I think, essentially like Viggo Mortensen's character, I think was Leatherface in part 1. I'm taking part 2 out of the equation for this. I think, they kind of grow up and then a younger one takes over as Leatherface.
I don't see it really like that. The way I see it,
Yeah.
like
I think it's an interesting
like
concept though.
like the police got a hold of the the first like Leatherface, and someone took over that we don't know.
Yeah. Like essentially it's like we have the role of like Jimmy over here, we need a new Jimmy. And like there's always like a Leatherface, and I think it's a different person. I don't think it's always the same.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, you gotta keep it in. You gotta keep it in the bloodline.
Oh yeah,
like,
I think it's obviously in the bloodline. But I think I think each one that explains why each like Leatherface in every one of the movies it would be different, and it would explain why there's constantly like different family members, but there's always people in the same roles. You always have like the kind of the boss guy, the cook, if you will.
Yeah.
And you always seem to have like the hitchhiker type guy.
We can't talk about Leatherface without talking about the. You can't
The
talk
other
about
Leatherface.
no. We can't talk about like Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3,
Yeah.
without talking about the trailer. That was
hell yeah.
so damn awful trailer.
It was awful, but it was perfectly awful.
Yeah,
You know, it
like
was like
like
riffing on.
cheese. When it comes to cheese factor,
Oh yeah, it was it
like the
was
song is finally like the chainsaw like raising from the lake.
yeah. I think also though that trailer might screw people over. They might see that trailer and think, oh, it's just going to be more of like part two. Maybe that's why it didn't
like
do as well.
like the with the cheese factor and shit.
Yeah, maybe they were expecting more like campiness like in part two.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
didn't do well as a result. I don't know.
Well, at
That's
least it don't hand with like Illuminati shits and like
yeah.
flames and transvestite Leatherface. So yeah, I
Yep.
love Leatherface too, dude.
Yeah. So we're to your number two now, right?
Yeah, number two is Amityville Horror 2,
Ah, the
The
possession.
Possession.
I love the possession. I'm gonna be honest. I don't find the first Amityville movie scary.
At all?
Not really. I find it.
Did you see it as a kid or?
I saw it as a kid, but honestly, I found it overly.
But even as
I
a
found
kid, you didn't find it scary at all.
no, I found a few scenes kind of scary, but I found the movie as a whole just to be kind of boring. Part two, on the other hand, that screwed me up. I saw that too young, and it messed me up for a while. I would actively avoid that movie for a while because it kind of scared me.
Yeah, let me put this straight. I mean, right away, acting
Yeah,
acting wise, everyone is A1.
yeah,
It's it's perfect casting.
it
Like for
is.
it really is. And those like incest like sub
Yeah,
reference throughout it, and it's just so damn well made. It's
yeah.
it's I think it's perfect, dude, and everyone is believable.
Oh yeah,
Awesome soundtrack, awesome set pieces. Um, Cinematography is on point too.
yeah,
Um, Practical effects, dude. Practical
yeah,
effects. Mad props to the practical effects too. Uh,
yeah,
it's just I think it's a movie, and even Dave Z from like the Exploding Heads and shit. Like I was
yeah,
talking to him, it was like he was like, yeah, dude, like one of your like favorite sequel, like favorite franchise sequel is Amityville 2. I was like, hell yeah, dude, that's one of my all time fucking like even horror wise, I think it's at least in my top 20 favorite film.
yeah. It's just a damn good movie again, and essentially, what works with it is it's sort of uh, a telling of the DeFeo murders, but it sort of isn't because it's like it's not. They're not called DeFeo and everything.
Yeah, you just don't know where
Yeah,
it's going. Like, even like,
yeah,
like the dude's like, you pretty, you pretty much know that he's possessed and shit, but like the fact that he's like, I don't know, dude. It's just well crafted. It's well made. Like his room is like in the attic and shit. And you just don't know what's going on there
yeah,
when
yeah,
it's like when you that's what I got from it. Like when you get like some family drama going on, you don't know what that dude is about. Like on, it's so it's good. And again, dude, like effects
Yeah.
and and that's one film, dude. Like
Yeah. It's great.
atmosphere wise.
Ooh, yeah. It oozes atmosphere.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
And let's be honest, it's the best of the Amityville series.
Yeah, even better than the first one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, maybe 72 or 76 that's coming out or something like that. AKA part 75.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, they kind of went off the rails. Well, I think Amityville is considered public domain now.
It is.
So, you can set anything there.
Yeah, it is. Pretty much everyone can do.
Yeah, you
And I
can
mean,
do whatever you want with it, and
yeah.
is what it is. Um, yeah, but it is the best of the the best of the series.
Any final word on how you think it's a better film than the first one?
Everything.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. Oh, one thing I do have to bring
Maybe
up.
I got Kidder because she
Yeah,
was Lois Lane after all. So
yeah. One thing I do have to bring up is the newest one, the Amityville Murders,
yeah,
is actually pretty solid.
I
It
don't believe it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it actually is. It's pretty good. It it follows the actual like DeFeo murders. They're actually called DeFeo and everything.
Yeah, but
So
why should I
it's
watch that instead of like an alleged documentary about it? So,
That's true, but it's pretty. It's good. It's one of the better ones. Let's say that. It's one of the better sequels. Yeah.
Awakening was made like
Awakening was okay, but
yeah, dude. 1, 2, 3, Awakening and Dull House. I
yeah.
think
Well, let's be honest. Awakening is just a
shit.
remake of
It's shit, but it's
yeah,
the
but
shit.
it's just a remake of Haunting in Connecticut.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, same basic plot. Essentially you put like a sick guy in a haunted house and bad shit happens.
Yeah, but it was, and that film got delayed like crazy. I think.
It did. That was one of those ones I think by the time it came out, everyone had already seen it.
No, dude. No.
I heard like saw like a lot of reviews and everything before it came out, and then it came out and it was just kind of like, oh, okay, it's out now. I
Really?
think, yeah, I think they just spent too much time in post production, and I think people had seen the rough cuts and everything and just weren't really having it. I mean,
Mm.
that's how I always remember it.
But since we're talking about like Amityville, I gotta ask:
Yep.
is you got that new Vinegar Syndrome box set, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. The set. I haven't watched any of the films yet. I'm honestly really looking forward to watching The Evil Escapes because that
Like that, no, dude. You
I
love that?
I tell you, essentially what it is. I saw that movie on TV when I was a kid, and I went out to the video store back when we had video stores,
For TV
and
though.
I pre-ordered. Well, not even really pre-ordered. I special ordered the VHS of it. So it's
What?
got like
What
yeah.
is made for TV? There's one film in that box that was made for TV, right?
Yeah, and I think it was The Evil Escapes.
Damn.
Yeah, I liked it that much as a kid, and so it's got like that special place in my heart. It's probably nostalgia glasses I'm wearing it for that, but I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing that one again. And I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them, but I can't remember them.
What about Dollhouse, dude?
I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I can't remember exactly. Isn't it like it's like a dollhouse of the Amityville house, right? Or
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
yeah. I know I've seen it, and I remember kind of digging it. I'll just put it this way: they're stupid fun.
Is it a solid case? Like,
Oh yeah, the case is like freaking like an arrow level box. So you could hurt somebody if you hit them with it.
what about the transfers?
I haven't watched them yet, but they're Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah,
They
can't go wrong with that.
no one complains about Vinegar Syndrome transfers at all. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so for my number two, uh, there's a lot of sequels. So again, I'm trying to pick stuff that's a bit different.
Say it right away, dude. Like Silent Night, Deadly Night 3.
The funny thing is, I actually kind of like Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Not
Ah,
enough. Not
Toy
enough.
Maker.
Toymaker's good, yeah.
Toy
Not
Maker is way better than 3.
yeah. Not enough to be in like a top 5 or whatever, but simply because they put his brain. They put like a jar over his brain, like a freaking. It just looks like
I
like
love it.
it just looks like one of those things what you
Like,
put salads in and you
yeah,
spin
yeah,
to get
dude.
all the
It's
water off 'em. It
so
looks like
sweet.
just one of those.
I always feel like I remember like renting it like way back when I was a young motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember like renting it and I was like, that could be in Mars Attack.
Yeah. 100% it could be. Uh, it's an interesting one to say the least. It's not good, but it's not as bad as people make out. No, but
Yeah, go ahead.
for my number two, like I said, there's so many sequels. I'm gonna go with Friday the 13th Part 5.
Damn.
Yep.
That yeah, really?
I love
I
a new
love Part
beginning.
5 too, dude. I love Part 5.
I love the fact also that it has the highest body count of the entire series,
Yeah,
and
Russ was the shit, dude.
it's complete sleaze. I love it. I love it. The fact it was directed by a porn director is just, it's awesome.
So you're telling me that you love Part 5 over 4 and 6, right?
Uh, that's a bit hard simply because, 4 and 6 have actual Jason in it.
Yeah, but
But
none
part
of
5
those are my
is just,
favorite. None of those are my favorite, by the way. My
yeah,
favorite Friday the 13th sequel is actually 2 and 3. Those are my two. So
yeah. You know what? I think as like an example of like slasher films, it works better than 4 and 6. It's just so mean-spirited. It's like I just love the fact that, the it's no spoiler. Everyone's seen it by now. Dude's son gets killed. So instead of killing the guy that killed his son, he kills everybody else.
yeah, but
When you actually
it
think
would
about
have
it, it's
been
kind of
cut
twisted.
if you went after the dude that legit killed his son. It would have been cut because he was
He
taken into
would.
custody and shit.
He would, yeah, but it would have made more sense. The fact that he went after all these like innocent people
I
instead.
just, and I just love those blue chevrons too on the mask.
Yeah. And I just love also that, one thing I've always liked about the Friday the 13th movies is the idea of the corpse room. Like when the killer takes all the bodies and stuffs them in one room. And part 5 did that really well.
You mean like, but pretty much every.
Essentially, everyone that like he killed, he stuck in one room. And you know, if you remember, like near the end, the girl's like looking for everyone, and she finds them all dead in some room.
Yeah.
I love corpse room scenes. I really do. Just because it's just this moment that's just kind of like, oh shit, like you really see the amount of damage that's been done.
But here's the question: are you more of a Roy guy or a Jason guy?
Jason.
Did
Jason is just more interesting because I mean, the whole is he supernatural and all that other stuff. But damn, you gotta love Roy.
Yeah, you gotta do, dude. I mean,
I find it so funny that he somehow had the time to make like a latex head that looked just like Jason's and wear it.
yeah. How the fuck does he know how Jason looked?
I don't know. I mean, all I can
He didn't
assume.
really, did he though? Because he had like a jumper suit like on, so.
Yeah, yeah, but like when you see his mask off at the end, he's got that rubber head thing. It's like, why? Unless
Yeah.
he was using it for protection or something. But if he was, why would it look like? Why would it have ears?
You've seen that rumor on the 22s that by the way, shout out Marco and James D. Cox that
Yeah.
um um Roy is racist.
Oh yeah, racist Roy. Yeah, I've seen that. Well, I mean, he does kill a lot of like
Black people?
He does. Well, but then again, there's no, but he leaves one alive too.
Yeah, pretty much. So
So he's politically correct, Roy. He kills
and,
everyone equally.
and did you know that Dick Warlock, the dude who played Michael Myers in part 2,
Yep.
did some stunts, I think, for part 5.
That's cool.
If I'm not mistaken, I'll check it out online like right now, but I think he did. Like Dick Warlock, Dick Warlock's such a dick, But yeah, I think he did. Like, especially like in the ending scene, like yeah, he did. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, seriously, that's just
Dick
like
Warlock, by the way, Dick Warlock was a stuntman on Friday the 13th Part 5.
yeah.
He was Michael Myers in Halloween 2. And he was the guy in the cage with the mechanical shark in Jaws.
Yeah, he's kind of like a hero.
Yeah, like an underground legend. No one talks about him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's my number 2. What's your number 1?
Halloween 2, dude.
Yep.
What's to say about Halloween 2?
Exactly. Yeah,
Dick Warlock.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I mean, it's just I don't know. There's something to Halloween 2, like it's fucking Halloween 2, dude. Like I can't say anything about it. It is what it is, and it's awesome.
it's one of those things that doesn't really need an explanation. Yeah.
So let's move on because we already thought about it. So
yeah, my number 1, Hellraiser 2.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Solid. If we did a top 10, that would probably be in there.
Yeah. It's the sort of thing, it just expanded on everything that was good with part 1.
Yeah.
And essentially it almost did what Aliens does, in that it took what was essentially a haunted house movie, and made it into like a much wider scoped thing.
Yeah, and don't get me started about like the whole design of the film is
Yeah,
so awesome.
yeah,
It's gritty. It's blue and gray. Like I love my Hellraiser films to be, you know.
yeah, yeah. And I just have to say we need more flayed people on film.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
There's something about seeing like a skinned person walking around doing shit that's just awesome. You
yeah,
know?
dude. I mean, Halloween. I mean, not Halloween, but Hellraiser too, dude. I mean, it's even like the guy that I told you about that. Like I have the page with him. Like he was like, "How about that Hellraiser shit?" I was like, dude. Like
Mm.
you're not even ready for part two, dude. It's a perfect film, I think.
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah. It's this sort of thing. I mean, I've always said before, I kind of have, when it comes to rating movies, I have the S class, which is a film that doesn't necessarily have to be a, a great movie or like a technically perfect movie, but it's one that just has infinite rewatchability that that as a viewer I feel is perfect. And the first two Hellraisers fall into that class every time.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
dude. Are you
Yeah.
down, are you down to do like like honorable mentions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so for me,
Hmm.
um like it's not like it's not a particular order, like it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
but
just throw
for
them out.
yeah. So for me,
Hmm.
one that I always dug like
Hmm.
really really bad
Hmm.
is, and it's like it's one of my favorite sequel, but it's not up there like with my all-time favorite sequel, but it's an honorable mention since we're talking about it. It's Blair Witch 2, The Book of Shadows. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
yeah.
It's
Oh
VHS.
well, you know what? I'm actually down for that because I actually really dig Book of Shadows.
Oh, dude, I don't.
I mean, it shouldn't have been a Blair Witch movie, but it was a fun movie.
Oh no, dude, I can't even like. Nah. Oh no, dude, I just can't. But VHS 2
Oh
is
hell yeah, yeah. It's a great
what a way
anthology.
to improve
Yeah.
on something
Again,
already
take
awesome.
take everything that worked in part one, get rid of everything that didn't, and just make part two, and it's great.
Absolutely, dude. You got an honorable mention?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bride of Reanimator.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah, I mean, there's just
As long
something
as
about
it's not like beyond Reanimator.
Beyond Reanimator is fun, but it's stupid fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I can always whenever I think of Bride of Reanimator, I just always think, take a note, Dan, tissue rejection, and then the bride blows up.
Yeah.
I don't know why it like blows up. Well, melts, blows up, whatever the hell it does.
I think it's both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. But I just love that. Take a note, Dan. Tissue rejection. He's just so like blasé about it. He's just
Yeah.
kind of like, eh. I here's a question though. What did you think of the idea of the proposed fourth Reanimator movie?
Do it?
Yeah, no, I mean like the plot and everything. You heard the plot, right?
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, yeah.
Do it.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen worse like pitched ID than that. So
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have been perfect
and pretty
had,
much everything can work with Reanimator if you
yeah,
put it the
if you
right
do it
way.
right. I think also though timing is a thing. Had it come out at the height of like the Bush presidency, part 4, you know, it would have worked perfectly with the plot that they had. You know, but by the time it came around when they could have made it, you know, Bush was on the way out.
Yeah, but it's still you can set it like
Yeah,
in
I
these
mean,
times. I
it
mean,
would have been perfect though. I mean, you know, reanimating the vice president because the president, you know, can't do anything on his own. I mean, it would have been perfect.
yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
Yeah. And then of course there was the whole idea that of how they were gonna essentially reboot the series.
yeah. That was floating for so long.
Yeah, it was a good idea, really. You know, the idea of like essentially, it would turn out that Herbert West was like dealing in the things he came up with and everything
Yeah,
were
it's kind of
essentially
like a black market or something.
there was that, yeah, and the idea that it was going to be like tie it into like the rest of the Lovecraft stuff, so, like
Yeah,
the like the elder gods and everything, like the old ones and everything. Essentially, he'd be like treading on their like toes, if you will, and they didn't like it, so they essentially make him a baby,
yeah,
and so everything starts over again with him being a kid. I think that would be damn cool, because if anything, I think Herbert West would love to be
yeah.
turned into a kid and be able to do everything over again.
If it's made well enough,
Yeah,
yeah, dude. But would it have been?
that's the question. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, again, it's all timing. I think Beyond Reanimator should have happened way sooner, and you know, we should be on like Reanimator like 7 by now.
Like, let's be honest. Like, Beyond Reanimator shouldn't have been a full length movie at all. Like, it
Not
should have been
yeah,
like 30 minutes.
yeah. I mean, I always just find it really funny, like when you hear
And it
the.
feels like a short to begin with.
It does, yeah. Have you ever heard the commentary track for it?
Nope.
The guy goes on about like how they directed it in somewhere in like Spain or somewhere like that. So as a result, though, there were like very few black people, and he said they're trying to pass it off as like South Central LA or whatever, and there's like no black people in the entire movie. Everybody's Mexican.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like 2 black people in the entire movie, and you know what he said was essentially, you know, like you're in like L.A. or wherever it's supposed to be, and it's like, you know, there'd be more than just a few black people in jail. You know, there's like 90% like Latino people in this jail in the movie, like 2% white guys, and there's like 1 black guy, and that's like it. And so you know, so he found it
It's
just
odd.
really funny that they were trying to pass it off as, you know, LA or whatever, when it was like, no, this
Yeah.
is like so obviously
Just
like shot in Spain.
slide it in there.
Yeah, yeah, he could have just said like, you know, they sent him to some jail somewhere else,
So what's
you
your
know.
we were at my
That was honorable mentions, so
yeah. So I got like 3 honorable mentions. So my
okay,
first yeah.
yeah, so hit me with another one.
I said it VHS too.
Yeah, yeah, and mine was Brighter Animator, so
Oh yeah, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Damn. Uh, Demons 2.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a damn fun sequel. I prefer Demons 1. That's just me. But, it's fun.
Yeah, I love Demons, but Demons 2 is the first one I saw too.
I think that does it a lot with movies. Like the one that you see first tends to be the one that you really like.
Yeah, except for films like Jaws the Revenge or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
can't love that. But yeah, Demons 2, man. I mean,
It's fun.
it's Demons
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. And I love the fact also that they have some of the same actors.
Yeah.
Like what's that guy's name? The black guy, the bald guy.
Uh,
I can never remember his name. But
uh, it's
you know who I mean though.
yeah, absolutely.
He's in both Demons movies, and he kicks ass in both of them. But he's a completely different character.
It's it's is it though? Because some
Yeah.
people say that they kind of like give him like the same character, but uh, I found an article like about it, and it was weird, but it kind of
Yeah.
made sense. So
I
my
kind of see it like Return of the Living Dead too. How they have like some of the same actors, but they're playing like they still have the same character names and everything, but they're different people. It's almost like a
yeah
different world. Like this is what would happen if this happened here instead of here.
yeah
Yeah,
it's too, dude.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a must watch even like before Demons 1.
Really.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you see, I prefer
I
Demons
think
1, but
you
that's
you can
just.
watch Demons 2 way before you watch Demons 1. Easily.
Yeah, I mean they're self-contained stories really, so I mean, like, are they really sequels? Or are they just movies that have the same name,
Yeah, I don't think they are like legit like back to back sequels, but
Yeah,
even if they were,
mhm.
Demons 2 for what it is, it's a blast, dude, from start to finish, even compared to the first one, I think.
It is damn fun. It really is. I just love the fact that the guys are so busy like working out, and then demons show up and it's like, damn, you gotta like throw weights at demons. You gotta love it.
You gotta do.
Yeah, great flick.
So yeah, hit me up with yours.
Yeah, the next one that's an honorable mention. I don't know whether I can even really call this a sequel. It's a sequel slash reboot, and that's Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich.
Oh, can we go that territory though? Because
I don't. Should
I
we
haven't
though?
seen it.
It's awesome. It com-
Yeah,
it
I know you.
it
Like,
turns everything on its head, but it's awesome, and it does away with the campiness of the later Puppet Master movies.
so Little Reich is there, but not Child's Play 2.
Oh well, Child's Play 2 is definitely on there. Yeah,
I say that because Child's Play 2 is my next pick.
yeah. You know what? I'm going to agree with that. That will be my next pick as well.
Child's Play 2, dude.
Yeah.
You ever seen that alternate ending to it?
To Child's Play 2?
There's an alternate ending. Not many people know about it. It was just for TV.
What happened in it?
It's like the the Chucky, like with the like when he gets sprayed with plastic and shit.
Yeah.
Like he's getting like some blood drops like in a big ass like plastic vacuum.
Okay, yeah.
And outside, I'll send it right away so you can watch it.
Yeah.
But it's not on any like Blu-ray releases or anything. It's kind of weird.
Is it like less violent than his
Oh no
ended?
no 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 no.
No. Uh, it's weird. I mean, I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah, it's like, and by the end you get like a smiling Chucky face, like that was built up like from that plastic.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah,
To
from
say
what
the
I
least.
got, yeah, that's I'm watching it right now. Yeah, some pieces of when Chucky blew up from, the air pump in his mouth.
Yeah.
Some pieces like fly away and end up like in a big ass like plastic vacuum,
Oh.
and that's where Chucky gets like reborn.
Well, that works, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, it was shot for TV, and it's nowhere to be found on any Blu-ray releases or anything. It's kind of weird.
yeah. I mean, all I could assume is maybe they don't own the rights to it. Maybe the rights to that particular thing are owned by
It's put out by
whatever
Sci-Fi.
TV.
It's like the Sci-Fi cut.
Oh, well, that's neat.
So yeah, that was your number.
That's my number one as well. So, like my last of the you know honorable mentions.
All right, all right, all
Yeah.
right.
So,
So before we are like closing that up,
yep.
um, I got one last question for you two,
Okay.
and you can ask me one question back. No
Okay.
problem. Do you think Dawn of the Dead,
Mhm.
like the remake,
Mhm.
was enjoyable, or
Mhm.
was it guilty pleasure?
I found it enjoyable. I I
Explain yourself.
I just I just loved it. I mean, I loved the fact that, well, for one, it's it's a remake, but it's almost like a remake in name only because there's so much different from the original that they just took the bare bones of the original. So they took the idea of like people in a mall zombie apocalypse and just ran with it. And I just got to say, Zombie Baby for the win.
So you love it,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
I love the first half of it.
yeah.
Like,
You don't like the end when they're trying to get away on the boat.
nope.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think that's what like anyone would try to do.
And I'm no Snyder hater, by the way. I love Batman v Superman. So,
Yeah,
but nah, dude, no. I think I love what I love just because it's. I saw 28 Days Later before I saw that, so to have like running zombies and shit.
yeah. That would do it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, I think that's why I love Dawn of the Dead. But
Yeah,
like now that I see it, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good. Like
yeah,
it's got some qualities and shit going for it, but just not my cup of tea, I think.
yeah. speaking of running zombies, I think I've come up with a way to make running zombies work in uh like the Romero style of zombie movie. And that's zombies can run when they first turn, but after rigor mortis sets in, they start going slow, and they keep going slow from then on.
You know, after they die,
Yeah.
like of age.
No, I mean, like, say someone's walking down the street and they get like hit by a car, and then they turn into a zombie because everyone's turning into zombies or whatever, or they get bit and they turn into a zombie. For maybe the first 4 hours or so, I think they can zombies can run. I think it's after rigor mortis sets
Sort
in,
of. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All
and
right.
and then after that they become shamblers and they stay shamblers. It would make sense, you know.
Yeah. It would, dude. It really
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
Like the more you get, like, from, like, to get the virus, like, to completely, like, control your brain,
Yeah.
you're still able to, like, to run and do some crazy shit.
Yeah. And then eventually, you just kind of become a shambler.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my question for you. What are two non-horror movies that all horror fans should see?
That's a um. I'd say Elephant if you're a fan of true crime.
Mm-hmm.
Elephant by Gus Van Sant is must watch,
Mm-hmm.
and Blue Caprice.
Okay.
Blue Caprice is about the again, if you're all about those like true crime stuff and shit, it's about the DC snipers,
Ah, yeah.
and it came out pretty recently, I think. Like last year, I bought it like for like $9 and shit. But it's really well done. It's really well put. It's definitely worth a watch. It's really something you gotta see if you're into like true crime and shit. Like it's a horror, but it's true crime. When you're into a horror, there's a good chance you're into true crime. So
Yeah. Yeah. Those are some good choices. For me, I would go with Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
yeah.
I love that movie. In fact, I'd say that could be my favorite non-horror movie. Just saying. And the other one is Yukio Mishima's Patriotism. That is creepy as hell.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, especially like you know about Mishima, right?
Yeah.
You know, essentially it mirrors almost exactly what he did like 3 years later or whatever when he killed himself. And
Damn.
when you think about it like that, it's really kind of creepy. It's so it's essentially it's like a suicide note written like 2 or 3 years before the suicide.
Oh, I gotta see that, dude.
It's awesome and it's beautifully shot. It looks like it's filmed essentially it's like a filmed no play, like so like it's all like kind of like on one set and everything, and it's awesome. It really is. I think it's up on YouTube actually. If it is, I'll send you the link.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely, dude.
it's I love it. It's a perfect film. It's only short. I think it's like 28 minutes long. It's pretty much silent. It has like intro titles in it, and interesting little bit of trivia. Mishima actually wrote the intra titles by hand in like something like 4 or 5 different languages.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. I mean, Mishima's kind of a badass. I mean,
Dude, I gotta check it out for sure.
yeah,
I have
it's.
one last like bonus question for you.
Mhm.
Um, who in the horror like realm,
Mhm.
like beside Kari, of course, is the biggest like piece of shit?
Oh man. Um. Hmm. I don't know, because I mean, for the most part, most people in the horror community are pretty good people. Um. Hmm. I don't know.
I heard not Linda Milton, but Linda Blair
Yeah,
is
I've.
something.
It's weird. I've heard both good and bad about Linda Blair. I mean, I've heard that she can be like a real like prima donna, and I've heard that she's
Yeah, from
like
what I
quite
heard, you just
nice.
gotta go
It just
like when
depends
she's
on the
in front
day.
of you, you just gotta go like slap that vagina like right away, you know.
Yep, there you go. It's the sort of thing. It's I'd say probably Tom Savini. I've
Yeah, I
heard
heard
I've
some pretty bad things about him too.
yeah, I mean, I don't really get why. I mean, you would think he'd be like a cool guy, but I think a lot of it is he probably gets like the same questions over and over again.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think he probably gets tired of it. I mean, I get it, but
but if you're getting tired of it, I mean, just don't do it for the money. Just stay at home and jerk your meat off, like to something.
yeah,
Like just
yeah,
don't do like conventions and shit.
yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing. Like there's it's one of those things where you see both sides of the coin,
Yeah,
but you got to also remember, the people that come to see you at conventions and everything, they're the people that made you famous.
yeah,
They're the people that, you know, if they so wanted, could make you unfamous pretty quickly.
yeah, absolutely.
So you just got to remember that, you're not like the boss.
Yeah.
You're like essentially the employee in this situation. You're a
Oh,
well cared for employee, but an employee nonetheless.
yeah, I think like from what I read online, like
Mm.
when it comes to big name, what I saw is Kane Hodder was pretty much a dick. So
Again, with Kane Hodder, I've heard mixed things, because I mean, I know the whole like choking thing. That was like his thing for like years. If you went for a photo with Kane Hodder, he would choke you.
yeah, but choke you till you turn blue is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
cool.
he could always go too far.
Like
But
from what I
yeah,
read, it's like someone was with a damn fine chick and was like looking at her while he was choking like his boyfriend. That's kind of weird.
yeah, I mean, it's odd to say the least, all around odd. But I mean, then again, it's an odd business, isn't it?
It
You're
is.
pretending to be someone else for a
Yeah,
living.
and when half your body is burned too, maybe you're not
Yeah.
And you're not always like right-minded, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So should we?
I say we should probably end it there. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes
That's a good one for a first for a first.
for a first podcast. Yeah, that's quite good. So yeah, so this was BDG reviews here.
That was Little Dead Meat, aka Will motherfucking Cardinal. You know what's up, bitch? You know.
Yeah, so there we go. Like I said at the beginning, we'll throw these out like kind of between episodes of Tumbling Podcast to Flesh and everything. Just more random, not so much focused on anything in particular.
Just good ass conversation, you know.
Yeah. So yeah.
So if you don't like it, fuck off. If you do, fuck off too.
Well, yeah. Peace out.